Welcome to the Soul Tide Podcast. I'm Brecken.
And I'm Brittany. This is your space where we keep it raw, real, and 100% authentic.
Let's get Soul Tide, sis. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome.
Welcome.
Back to the podcast. And we're singing.
It's like, we welcome you to... You know what I'm talking about? Hello. Okay, anyways.
If there's any Mormons out there. Did you guys sing that in church?
That's why I was like,
yeah, primary,
you know.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyways, welcome back.
Welcome. We are going to do a little life update.
Yeah.
I'm just pushing the baby, so if you hear a creaky stroller.
That's what it is.
But yeah, do you want to start?
Yeah, life update for me. Still working on the backyard, but it's almost done.
Yeah, your pickleball court looks
court is done. Don't look too closely at the lines, but the pickleball court's
Only
done.
you would notice that.
Oh, yeah. No, but you know it's bad when like Josh walks out, he goes, huh? And we told the guy, because we haven't paid him the other half the deposit. They usually have you pay one half and then you pay the other half when you're done.
Yeah.
If there's anything wrong, I can come back and fix it, right? There's like chunks out of the paint into it. We told him, he's like, I'll come back. He hasn't come back yet. And so I'm like, is he...
He's taking the
He probably just doesn't know. There's paint on our pool house.
Oh.
Where you put the net in, the little silver like thing that goes in the ground. Yeah. Paint everywhere. That's supposed to be like taped over and covered. So I wonder if he's taking the L and just like, I'll just write off the other half of that.
Right.
Because it's been crickets.
Where did you get him?
From a concrete company. Oh, okay. But he'd never used him, but he had referred him a ton.
Yeah.
So nice, but it just, yeah.
Dang.
But it's done.
Yeah.
Pickleball court is done.
Have you pickled yet?
Yes.
Really?
We did a couple of days after the net was installed with like Scotty and her friend and Josh and Nixon. We played till like 10 o'clock at night. It was so fun. And then the kids go out there every single day.
Yeah.
I have like neighborhood kids. I can hear them in the back gate.
So
and Scotty's like walking in with all of them. But yeah, so that's done. Gym's almost done. And my baby is turning 2.
I know.
On the 16th.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, but I'm planning her party on your daughter's birthday. Yeah. Didn't realize it at the time. So that's life update.
We're making it work.
We're making it work.
Yeah.
I ordered 2 cakes. 2 little sprinkled funfetti cakes. I know you said she already has one, but I had to.
Yeah.
Same candle. There's a 2 and a 4. She's turning 4, right?
Yeah, 4.
Okay, I'm like, crap, I just didn't even ask.
No,
she'll love it. 2 and a 4 candle.
That's perfect.
That's gonna be cute. But that's really my life update. I mean, I don't think that I have much else to report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes we just live the same life over and over.
Yeah, it's like Groundhog Day all the time.
Literally.
It's more rare that I have a huge update.
Yeah.
I kind of like that for me.
Yeah, same.
In this phase of my life, I like it to be consistent. Yeah.
Not me finishing your sentence. I'm so sorry.
No, but that's exactly.
We were just talking about this, how we're like, I know what you're going to say. So
Let me say it. No, I didn't even think twice. I was like, okay, good, sweet.
I feel like I don't really have much of, I'm just like doing the newborn thing.
That's a big life update.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I think that the adrenaline has kind of worn off and like the exhaustion is settling deep in my bones.
In every pore.
I think that it's like truly when you're postpartum, you feel it in your bones, like the tiredness and the like just the achiness of like not sleeping. And she honestly, like I'm fine doing the days. Like I'm good during the day. I'm like, sweet, let's just like do a normal day. At night, I struggle. Like,
oh yeah.
I always say if I could get a full night's rest, I'd be a different mother.
Yeah.
Like
you could have like a night nanny.
Yeah.
People do that.
They do. Except I am a control freak.
Also, it's like, what do you do? Pull your boob out? Like
literally, I would have to pump. I actually, that is a life update. I have been pumping once a day.
Oh,
just like a little to build more of a supply so that I can have a little more freedom to like leave if I wanted to because, oh my gosh.
You have a life update. You went out.
Oh, I literally
had to
say that. That's so fun. We're like...
How dare you not mention that?
Now, okay, I was stressing going out. Because, like, I'm 6 weeks postpartum, almost 7 now. But, like, I just, like, never leave my babies that early. I stress about it. Anyway, so, like, leading up to it, I was, like, spiraling. And luckily, my friend Brooke, she came with us to the rave. And so, like, she came upstairs because I didn't even think she was going to be able to come because she didn't have a ticket. But Chandler, of course, finagled his way.
He figured it out.
I have a story about that, too.
I haven't even heard about any of it.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, but so she came up and was like, just like kind of talked me down. She's like, it's going to be fun. Like, let's just go. Like,
when her baby's young,
yes,
right?
Yes. She has like
older,
2 under 2.
So she's a good person to.
Yes.
pacify
right.
you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the right word. It's gonna be okay.
But really, because Chan doesn't get it.
No,
he's just like, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, he's just
pumped. Yeah, literally.
Chan with his freaking hot dog. I was laughing so it looks like barf.
He literally thought that was a good idea, but I have no room to talk because I ate Korean noodles from there too. We're talking about a concert. Anywho, we went out. It was fun.
Yeah.
But like the whole time I was watching the baby monitor. Like,
oh, that's hard.
But
you went out.
I went out. It was fun. I was in the bathroom pumping, and like I have to say, girls are amazing. They're they hype you up, and they're like, yeah, mama's like, you get it. You're pumping while you're still having a good time.
Girls are amazing.
Facts.
Yeah.
But I got out of the bathroom. I had pumped only 2 ounces, and I was planning on keeping it. And anyway,
I just in your back pocket. Where were you gonna put it?
I had a bag.
But in a satchel, you got flaps of milk by the end of the night.
I'm handing it out. No, get this though. I was I unscrewed the top because I'm I need a Chan to hold it. He grabs it straight from me and chugs it down, literally in one gulp. And all of us were like, what has happened? And he's like, might regret that. And I was like, honestly, that'll probably make you feel good in the morning.
I regret that. I can hear it. I can hear him say, I regret that.
I was shook. I'm like, did you literally just chug my milk? That's disgusting.
What was the thought process?
No thought. There wasn't. It was literally
it was a knee-jerk reaction.
Gulp.
It was he was thinking you were handing him a drink. Instead, it was your breast. He knew.
And I was like, I was going to save that. And he's like, well, we can't anymore. I'm like, cool.
But did it taste good? What was
he said it was good. He's like, it's sweet. It's just sweet milk. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
And but low-key anyway. I'm like, ooh.
Literally, I can't even drink my own milk. No.
I think I licked my finger one time after because I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I was like, ooh.
Yes, it's gross
to think about drinking my boob milk.
Yes,
but that's
it's the healthiest thing you could ever drink, probably.
And it's how you feed your children. So it's why is it gross?
Yeah. But anyway,
it comes from, you know what I mean? It's just,
I will say, and this goes along with our episode today. It's all about postpartum and the healing journey and all the things. But getting dressed up in a little outfit,
especially for that style of concert.
Yes, exactly. Which I chose a more modest outfit.
It looks
than
really cute.
What was usually you wear
it's
to a rave.
Pasties in it.
Literally, people wear pasties and a string and call it good.
So you were covered.
Yeah, I was really covered. And except for now, I feel people are wearing cute oversized tees and lace shorts or something.
Okay, I like that.
It's a little more relaxed now. But anyway, the thoughts that came along with not being back to where I am pre-baby, it's hard. And I thought I was okay until I was forced to actually face it.
Until you were in that moment.
And I was forced to face it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I can see that this is part of me that doesn't, or that still needs healing. And I was just telling Brecken that the thing I love and hate about postpartum is that it's going to show you all the parts of yourself that still need healing because everything's amplified. Your emotions are amplified. Chemically, you're amplified, all the things. I kind of had to take a step back and be okay, I'm okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm not my body. I had to do all the things to get out of the thought process that night. But it's crazy how much that affects me.
Oh, and most women, you're not alone in that.
Yeah.
Most of us have that, you house a baby, your body is literally just their home and they're sucking everything from you, right? Physically,
literally their bones are made from your bones.
Yeah, you're building them, you're exhausted, and then you have them, and then you're wait a second, why do I not look like I did before? And it's mothers are amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Because now you're in the tail end of what postpartum, they say, right? That's the 4th trimester. Right. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
Maybe you told me that.
Yeah. No, I don't think so, but it is the 4th trimester.
But you're in the 4th trimester of navigating this, but also navigating your journey of, becoming Brit with Stella outside of you, right?
Right.
And also being kind to yourself along the way because you just went through, let alone the trauma you went through of her birth. That combined with just a normal postpartum experience, it's I'm proud of you for going.
Thank you.
I'm actually very proud of you. I keep giving you, I'm kudos to you because I know we're very similar. I feel like we operate very similarly, where we critique ourselves, and I keep telling you how amazing you look, but like for you to put yourself out there when it's the one thing you don't want to do right now, and like be on camera, be seen, post these things, like it's impressive. And I'm really proud of you.
You're so sweet.
Because I know that that's like a big leap of not faith, but like it's just a stretch.
Yeah, totally. I think too, I'll look back at photos from like a year ago or 2 years ago, and I remember the mindset I was in, and I was like, I don't look good. I don't feel like I looked good. But then I look at those photos now and I'm like, okay, girl.
Okay,
I'm
we
like,
had it going.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And I think in the moment we critique ourselves and we think so much worse than what it actually is. And like, I have to keep reminding myself that I'm going to look back at photos, or I'm going to look back in this moment, and I'm going to see the good rather than like nitpick the bad. So I'm like, okay, like just push through it, just get through it.
That's another good, could be a social clip too. Because I feel like, again, you're not alone. All of us critique ourselves in the moment, and we're so hard on ourselves. And then again, in retrospect, you're like, what was I talking about? But I think it's awesome for you to be able to be in a space where you're noticing it, but you're able to walk yourself through it. You have the tools to walk yourself out of that. You know what I mean? Where some people will beat themselves up, and it's just this constant beat up mode. At least you're like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I recognize that. Let me walk myself out of it. Yeah. You know, that's great that you can do that.
I think that's too the frustrating part about this whole postpartum experience is like, I know when I'm in my shit, and I know when I like should be like, quote unquote, should be acting a different way or responding a different way. And like having that awareness and choosing to still respond in a way that's like not necessarily like enlightened or whatever is like, and then I like beat myself up about that. I'm like, I know better. And I'm like, okay.
But therein lies the battle in a woman's brain, you know?
Yeah.
Therein lies the battle in a woman's brain. It's this constant battle of like, I know better. I've been here before. But we all fall back into that.
Right.
We do. And I think that that's natural.
Yeah.
I think for us to expect this perfection, not even perfection, but you know what I mean? For us to expect like to have a new result, like, and just automatically be like, I'm great, I'm happy. I'm like, that's not realistic.
Right.
But at least you can go to the place and you can get out of the place pretty quickly.
Yes. Which is not, I could not say the same thing about like my first postpartum experience. Like I would spiral. And like for like years, truly, I didn't know how to get out of it. And so I do feel like it's different this time, except like we actually filmed this episode, like half of it last week. And then we're like, let's just film the rest this week. And then we didn't end up, we just started from scratch.
We started over.
But I think in that episode, I was like, oh, I'm having a great time and da-da-da, because it hadn't really hit me yet.
Yeah. So that's actually interesting because you had just had your 6-week appointment, but she was only 5 weeks.
Right.
There's no accidents.
No, totally.
There never is.
Never.
And I had like brain farts the whole time. I couldn't speak. I couldn't think. I couldn't compose a sentence.
I think we trade off doing that every once in a while
like, because... And it's one of those things too where like, I feel like I'm on the tail end of postpartum, right? Hudson's almost 2, and they do say it takes 2 years. I feel like I have found my peak again, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I remember it, but I don't remember it enough like you do. You're in the thick of it, which is so great to talk about it when you're in that space because we do all forget. And so I think that was another thing where I was like, I have nothing to contribute, which is a lie. Yeah. I do, because I'm in the next phase.
Right, which I think women need to hear that there's a way out. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. And not that this phase isn't beautiful and wonderful in its own way, but like you're in the phase that like feels more expansive, I feel like.
Yes, and I feel like I'm enjoying motherhood to its fullest effect. Is that the right word?
Yeah, like you have more freedom.
More freedom. And we know that I have very hard pregnancies.
Yeah.
Mentally, it's like I go to very dark places every single time.
Yeah.
During, after. And so I feel like I finally feel like me again in every regard. And so then there's that phase of postpartum, and that's been really awesome, you know? That's all.
Yeah, like for people. No, just for people to know that like if you are in the thick of it.
Yeah.
As most of us are, there is, and not saying like you don't have your own struggles postpartum and like issues now, but it's like, it's different in the fact, like maybe you're sleeping more. Maybe you have a little more freedom at night to like do what you want, or you feel comfortable leaving Huddy. Like, it's just different.
Yeah. I don't have the same cord or tie is, like you said, when you're in the thick of it, 6 weeks, like she needs to be with you 24/7.
She doesn't even know she's a human outside of you.
Exactly. She still thinks she's a part of you. Don't they say for the first, like, I'm going to butcher this, but it's like the first quite a few months that kids
it's like 4 months.
Don't even realize that they're not a part of you.
Yeah.
That's why they say, I mean, I guess it gets later, but like, that's why they say kids sometimes will say like dada first, because like they think they're so much a part of their mom that they're one. Like, they don't look at you as a separate person. Sweet. Which I don't know if it's true or not, but I take it.
No, it
I'm
is
like,
true. Do you know what I mean? Say it's true, but I saw it on Instagram. Yeah. An Instagram reel told me, so it's real.
It's true. We'll ask chat later. Then it's for sure true.
Literally. We'll ask chatbot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like our episode today is all about postpartum, kind of like things that helped us. We have like a few talking points.
Yeah, what worked, what didn't work.
Yeah, let's just dive right in.
Let's dive right in.
So I'm going to read a quote, and we're applying this to postpartum. And it says, how do you get through tough moments? She answered and said, do not trust the way you see yourself when your mind is turbulent, and remember that even pain is temporary. Honor your boundaries, treat yourself gently, let go of perfection, and feel your emotions without letting them control you. You have enough experience to face the storm and to evolve from it. And it's like, how many times postpartum, like, first of all, we're not our thoughts, you know?
No, and our thoughts are mumbled as hell.
Yes, and
when we're not
and
sleeping.
They're mean to us. Like, we are mean to ourselves.
Yep.
I mean, at least I am.
Oh, I think that you can categorize all of us.
Yes, especially like mothers and women in general. But like, especially being postpartum. And this is like, if you've had a baby, you're postpartum. It's not even just like right now. It's like when things are turbulent and when you have lots of hormones running through your body, AWire, things are going to feel really dark sometimes and heavy sometimes.
And way more heightened.
Yes, everything's heightened. And so don't trust the things that you say to yourself if they're coming from a place of darkness, a place of like fear or anxiety or any of those things. That's not you.
Yeah. My mom used to always tell me, this is just like when I was going through a hard time in general. Yoda Lori, she's the best. She always had a
Lori
one-liner
always
for
has
everything.
Her little one-liners.
But she was like, she would always tell me, there's a reason that there's a night between 2 days. It's a little different when you're postpartum, I get that. But like, I think you can still apply it to postpartum, where it's like taking a pause when you're in a more clear-headed state really does make a difference between like a bad thought and a good thought in your mind. I have had that happen a lot. Like, I might be like angry at Josh. Like, it's something like that where it's like, just go to bed. I go to bed and I wake up and I'm like, what was I mad about? Because everything's heightened when it's turbulent.
Yes. And tired. I swear, like, people say don't go to bed mad, but like sometimes I really feel like you need to go to bed mad. Like,
I had to that night.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of nights that like, even like postpartum, that I'm like, Chan and I have been like arguing or like things are turbulent. And he's like, I think you need to go to bed.
And you want to drop kick him?
Literally, I'm like, shut the F up. But he's right.
It's true.
So yes, I love that saying. Okay, I like the sentiment to do postpartum on your terms. Yeah. So like, even like what we're saying right now, take and leave what you want, because your postpartum is so like niche to what you need, what you desire, all the things. Like, some people may love tons of visitors. Some people like might want to isolate. Like, I love to isolate. Yeah. I actually like thrive in that like sacred space of just my family for a few weeks. Yeah. But some people love like the visitors, and I think that's totally okay. Whatever works for you postpartum is what you need to do, and don't let anyone else tell you that that's not right. I
was gonna say, let's normalize letting people have their own experience and letting it look that way for them, whether it looks that way for you or not, or whether you think it should look different for them. Yeah. Let people have their own experience. Let's normalize that and not judge them. Yep. I love that. So I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Different postpartum experiences for everybody. Exactly. I just kind of wrote down like things that worked for me and didn't, because again, I am in a different space with the postpartum journey. I will say what worked for me was asking for help. It's so simple, but like with Scotland, I don't know that I necessarily asked for help as much. Right. I was in a very different phase of my life. There was a lot of factors. I was a little bit more in survival mode, but like, I do feel like with Hudson, I asked for help, and it was easier for me to ask for help, because when I tried to do it on myself and people would offer and I would deny the help, all it did was put me in a terrible mood. I would end up in a breakdown at the end of the night. And then I'm resentful towards every single person in my family, and I'm mad at them for doing exactly what I asked, not helping me.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So kicking out the ego and the pride of thinking that you have to do it all by yourself, that's a lie too. Like, didn't two people not create a baby? It's not on one person.
Right.
You know? And so I feel like that really supported me.
Yeah.
And then it also, I feel like, helped Josh connect with her more too, because obviously men don't connect as much with your baby during the whole time you're pregnant because it's a different experience for them.
Totally.
Right?
No,
asking for help.
I love that. And I actually, that's like something that I needed to hear too, because I tend to like, even with Chan, I'm like, no, I got it. Because I feel guilty asking for help.
Well, he's been working all day.
Yeah, exactly.
So you
and
don't
I'm
wanna
like,
do that.
but he's so willing, but I'm just like, if I don't ask for help, I will resent him.
Absolutely.
And he's like, you just have to tell me and I'll do it. Most of the time,
It's
our
simple.
men want to serve us. It's literally that. That's true and that simple. Like, they want to help. They love to solve issues and problems.
Men are fixers.
Yeah, exactly.
They want a problem to fix, but if you can't give them a problem, they're left guessing. And that's not great. That's not great.
Exactly.
This we know, some of the things they say, especially pregnant and postpartum.
Yeah.
I remember one time actually. This is not to do with that, not asking for help, but Josh always asked me to walk on his back. Right? So one day, I'm large and in charge.
But not even.
Yeah, I guess not. But it felt that way.
But postpartum, yeah. Like heavier than you used to be.
I was pregnant still.
Oh, you were? Okay.
I wasn't even postpartum yet. So I'm walking on his back. Wait, no, I was.
Were you postpartum?
No, I was pregnant. Sorry. Okay. I just had to rethink about that. I was pregnant because I hopped on his back. I'm walking on it. And he goes, man, I'm really enjoying these extra LBs.
You're like, so you think I'm fat?
Yeah. And it was one of those things where sometimes our husbands, there's the best intentions.
But they just have no filter.
He meant it as like, oh
like
man.
He genuinely felt that way.
He felt that way. He didn't think about the fact that when you said that to your pregnant hormonal wife that she would take offense to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So not a great moment. But it's a fun story to laugh at now.
Now you can.
I won't let him live it down.
Yeah.
Clearly. 2 years later, and he's like, really?
I feel like how people treat you postpartum and things that happen postpartum, you never forget.
Never.
Like, it is because our emotions are so heightened. It's like, it's wild, actually.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Something that really helped me and that is helping me postpartum and kind of always has, is don't be so attached to a routine.
Yeah.
Like, newborns are going to do what newborns do. And they actually like don't even have a circadian rhythm until like 6 to 8 weeks. So it's like, you can't really do much except follow their routine. Yes, like a little rhythm, like try and get their days and nights like aligned. But like, I feel like when I am so attached to a routine and to like, they have to eat at this time, especially like breastfeeding, it's like, you don't know how much they're getting. And I feel like if you're so attached to a schedule, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
At least for me. I do thrive on a schedule, but like maybe when they're starting to be like 3 months or something, then you like settle in more into a schedule. Like, okay, this is when they nap and this, because they're just going to do what they're going to do.
And they're trying to figure it out. It's not like they're intentionally trying to keep you up all night.
Right.
It feels that way sometimes when you're in the thick of it. But,
yeah, I know, right?
You know, but I will say 3 months, it was interesting you said that. I've always said with both the girls, 3 months is where I was like, oh, I feel like I can breathe. Yeah. I felt like I was treading water. You're trying to figure it out, trying to figure out your routine, their routine, your hormones, just all the above. Yeah. And that's when I felt like, okay, I think I've got this down. It's not that everything was perfect at 3 months, but it just, it was interesting.
You're more settled in. Yeah. Like, and also they're not as floppy.
That's you don't feel like your head's like this and you're like, is it holding a newborn? It's so scary.
I know the first time you held her, you're like,
I'm literally like, I don't want to break her.
But no, I totally feel like 3 months is kind of like a sweet spot of, and then they hit 4 months and it's the sleep regression.
Yeah.
And you're like,
oh,
I just got my footing.
Isn't that motherhood though? Or is that life? You're like this, you steady coasting, and then you're like, oh, yeah, there's that. Those ones. Totally. I don't like it. There's that loopy.
The loop-de-loop.
Loop-de-loop, you know what I mean? It's like a roller coaster.
Or also, this kind of goes along with it, is like living attached to any outcome.
Yeah, like, in general.
I think, yes, going into like sleep. Like, okay, I'm going to put her down for a nap. I'm like not attached. If she sleeps, she sleeps. I'm just going to, because then you're going to get so frustrated. That is like anything in life though. If you're attached to an outcome, you're not usually going to be happy.
No, it's that expectation, and that unmet expectation will let us down every single time. That's a good thing for all of us to remember, just with life in general. I know you just said that, but like, don't have an expectation. Don't be attached to what your scenario, your circumstance, or your life is going to look like, because chances are it's not going to look exactly like you thought it would.
Right.
Chances are it's usually better.
Yeah.
But like
totally.
Most of the time, it's not going to look like we thought. What worked for me was getting out in the sunshine, going on walks.
Yes.
And we've talked about how amazing and how therapeutic it is to be outside. It's grounding. I'm immediately in a better mood. I'm getting that vitamin D. I am moving my body. And so just getting out there and walking around, like Hudson and I did so many walks. And it's funny because she was a May baby. And so our walks were in the thick of the heat. And I swear this kid, she would cry until I'd take her outside, and it would be like 100 degrees, maybe not that much, but like, and she lived for it.
Yeah.
She loved it so much, but that was just a side tangent.
No, I love that. Yeah, we're good. She was coughing.
Yeah, sunshine and walks, because staying inside, and this applies to me even now. If I stay inside too long, I start to feel like depressed.
Oh yeah, same.
I'll have to go out and like ride a bike with the kids or walk around. Like yesterday, we stayed home all day because Huddy's getting over an ear infection. Scotty like had that like gland. I don't even know what was going on, but like, and we stayed inside all day and watched movies, and it was such a good like mental reset. But at the end of the day, I could feel myself feeling like Snoopy.
Yep.
Not negative, Snoopy. But I just felt like, maybe, is that the right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I was just very like blah. So that worked really well for me.
I attest to that because that's the same for me. Like now, even if it's sitting outside on my patio or like if she's crying, something that actually helps me a lot is like just going outside with her and standing in the grass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I can breathe. She usually stops crying. I think I saw this thing. It was like, might have been a TikTok or something. And it's like, if your baby's crying or if you're having a hard day or like energy is stagnant, get wet or go outside.
You told me that before.
Did I? It just like moves energy, you know?
It's a reset. Yeah.
I think that when I was my first baby, I was like, when I had Rome, I was surprised at how often you couldn't set them down.
Yeah.
Like they are just like a part of you.
And
like you were saying.
Her gripping your shirt.
Yeah.
She's like, I need you.
Mine.
I need you.
Mommy.
I was going to say, don't have, it's still the expectation thing, but like, I think that sometimes we go into like motherhood and we think, okay, it's got to look this way because that's the normal, right? I mean, I've done that this whole time with Hudson, and I've had to be reminded, like, what is normal? What is normal when your kids are growing up? Everybody's going to develop differently. And so I think that like pushing that out of your mind too, like, because there's so many conflicting things, like, set them down. Don't hold them all the time. Sleep with them. Don't sleep with them. Breastfeed. Don't feed. And it's like, really at the end of the day, you do you.
Yep.
Just you do you.
Yeah.
Intuitively, you know what works for you.
Totally.
And so that just reminded me of that because, you know.
Yes. Everyone does it different.
Exactly.
Postpartum on your own terms.
Exactly. Raising your babies on your own terms.
Literally. And if you try to fit into a box and do it how someone else is doing it, you're going to be miserable.
Exactly.
And your experience in life, if this is literally applies to anything, if you're trying to do it how someone else does it, one, you're abandoning yourself and your own mom gut and your feelings. And also like you're trying to fit in somewhere where you don't belong.
Yeah, it doesn't align. So of course it doesn't feel good.
That's one thing. I do not like my nursing boobs. I'm like...
You get big nursing boobs.
And I feel like it makes me look bigger than I am. But, you know, we roll with it because
she's fed.
I literally have to like hold up my boob to keep it in my mouth. Yeah. But anyway.
Your pre like breastfed boob self would be shocked.
Yeah, totally.
You have to like...
Yeah, I know, literally.
You know what I mean? What worked for me, and I feel like I learned this towards the tail end with Scotland, and I was so much better about it with Hudson, was like walking away when things are hard.
Yeah.
Because of your unregulated emotions, because of your lack of sleep, because of all of the above, you aren't thinking straight. We already talked about this. And there are going to be moments where you feel like you're going to lose your ever-living mind. And I feel like in those moments, what helped me the most was to be like, I need you to take her, I need to go. Because again, moving out of that space, moving energy, taking a second to pause changed everything.
Right.
Learning to walk away when it feels hard just saves you from like doing things and saying things that you wouldn't necessarily do in a clear-headed state. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I love that. Something that helped me postpartum was like buying a few things that I knew would fit me, like a size or two up. And because then you're not like trying to force yourself into something that you're not ready yet.
Sure.
Because although like I was telling you this last time, it's like, I'm not trying to like bounce back, but I am trying to get fit again. I am not trying to stay looking.
I feel like I can read your mind.
Yeah, literally. We're just having a telepathy conversation.
Don't say it out loud. Just
you
kidding.
can. No, like I'm not going to hold myself to an unrealistic standard right now, but I am not trying to stay where I am.
You're not going to stay in a postpartum state and then blame it on, oh, it's because I had kids.
Exactly. Like
it's okay to want to look a certain way. It's okay. Something that I feel like really worked for me was getting ready.
Yes.
Because you already don't feel great postpartum. You're already critiquing yourself, but like then we're critiquing ourselves in sweatpants, no makeup, sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on.
That's when you're the prettiest. Hope that you don't take it wrong.
I'm so glad you finished that.
Of course.
But yeah, so I feel like getting ready at least made me feel like a little bit better. If anything, just for me. You know what I mean?
100%.
Even if I just got ready with sweatpants, at least it was like a step up.
Yes.
Because like I didn't have spit up on it. My kids spit up.
Really?
Both my girls were the biggest like projectile spit uppers.
I'm gonna stand.
For like the first few months. Like Hudson, I swear it was like 8 months.
Dang.
Scotland, same thing. It's so interesting.
Yeah, see, my babies rarely spit up.
Like the fact that you don't have a burp rag, I washed like 6 of them a day.
You're like clenching. You're like, you're going to ruin your shirt.
Oh yeah, spit uppy babies.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's
so
sad. Because it's so sad when they throw up.
For sure.
Because it has to hurt.
Yeah. I think they both have had like an acid reflux.
Totally.
Silent reflux situation.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, what? From what?
Yeah.
It's weird. But
I know. Sometimes you just can't do anything about it. That's just like how their
like
body.
genetics.
Yeah, they're like anatomy.
That's how I was.
Yeah. It's probably, genetics.
It's my fault.
You're like, sorry, babies. Okay, this is a little bit on the woo-woo side, but I do it every single night. Mm-hmm. This is like a non-negotiable, and this is what you remind.
Like, just kidding.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm standing up right now because I'm rocking a baby.
Cutting you off. Sorry.
This is like more of like an energy practice that I do every night, and like non-negotiable shower every single night.
Yep.
Wash my hair because you pick up things throughout the day, negative energy, all the things. And I will literally close my eyes and imagine the energy like washing away in the drain.
Yeah.
And like new, fresh energy. And I 10 out of 10 of the times feel better.
Well, I have heard the saying from a lot of different spaces, hair holds energy. They say
yes.
That. So they say when you wash your hair, it is like a refresh, a reset.
Yes.
When you cut your hair, like same thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can attest to like, yes, a bath like with just my body versus a bath like washing my hair. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel better.
You're like, wow.
Wow, I love everyone again. Just kidding.
I'm a new person.
I hated them. Yeah.
Water heals. Do postpartum on your terms.
Yeah.
You are the creator of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes life feels like it's on pause when you're postpartum, and it kind of is in a sense, but you're growing from it. There's growth from it.
Postpartum is a journey. Mm-hmm. It's a journey. And sometimes I don't think it's talked about enough. It is hard. It's beautiful, but it's hard. And it's okay for those two things to happen at the very same time. It just is. And so
they can coexist.
They can coexist. And I think it's good to know that you're not alone.
You know what? If you're in the trenches, you probably aren't there alone.
That's what
that is literally like, if there's one thing that's universal, it's that we're going to ebb and flow, especially in postpartum. Like forever, we're always going to ebb and flow. Yeah. But we are grateful that we're not in it alone.
For sure. And that is the last thing I want to touch on is the point where you said we're not in it alone. Talk about it. Mm-hmm. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about when you're sad.
Yep.
Talk about when it's hard. Talk about when you're happy. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of us just hold it inside. Mm-hmm. And when we hold it inside, that's when we think we're alone. And we're not alone.
Yeah.
None of us are. So
I love that. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good place to end.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love you guys.
And that's a wrap on today's video.
And that's a wrap. We love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye. My little bye whisper. And that's a wrap on today's episode. We hope that you felt seen, heard, and maybe even a little empowered. If you loved today's combo, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your girls.
Let's keep this Soul Tide community growing. Until next time, stay true, stay bold, and most importantly, stay you. Love you, mean it. Bye.